Are you sure you're
I
sure?
mean, I'm good.
It's been a while.
I'm
I
good.
know it's been a while. So I just don't want to start without you.
I mean, it's wait.
What?
Wait.
What?
You asked me if I'm good.
Yeah.
The reason I wouldn't be good is your fuckery. You put us behind the 8 ball. You set us up to fail.
That's true. You're right.
You
You're
took a lot
absolutely
of, and then I'm trying to get some chemistry going with you, and you're just anxiety riddled about a tech issue.
Yes.
And now we're podcasting, and you're like, hit him with the best Zumbo you got, and I'm like, well, this Zumbo's pretty irate right now.
Isn't that the best Zumbo you've got?
I mean, by all accounts, it doesn't get any better, but it also doesn't get any worse. So
Okay. Well, then what difference does it make? We're podcasting.
we could try to start.
Okay.
In a way, I said to you, you want to take a minute? You want to breathe it out?
Oh, you did say that.
I know I did. I know.
It slipped
I
my
was
mind.
like, I was trying to create chemistry.
You were.
And it's the second you're like, all right, it's just sorted. Here we go. Boom. Now I'm podcasting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I asked you if you were ready to go.
While hitting the record button.
But I should have taken a moment to breathe, because you're right. I'm riddled with anxiety.
Connect with your partner, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the show about?
Connection.
Is it about how the tech is working?
Well, we need
It's
that.
about our connection.
But we can't have it
I
without the
understand that.
tech working.
I'm just
and
talking
everything.
priorities. I'm
I know.
talking lists. I'm talking, what are you putting first?
Right, but whose job is it to get the tech working?
Well, that's you mostly.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. So I got to get that done first to facilitate the connection.
And I'm not saying don't do that first. I'm saying, but make sure you prioritize what the show is about when you have space, when your partner asks you to.
Okay.
Connect with me.
Okay. All right.
Breathe it out.
Fist bump.
Let's do it right
Fist-
now.
We're breathing
We're
it
going
out?
to breathe it out,
Are we doing-
and I want to hear your exhale. We're going to breathe in 5, and we're going to exhale loudly.
Okay.
So that we know you're doing it.
Okay. What about the fist bump?
Well, we're going to do that too, but I feel like we don't have
Let's
the
do it.
distance. Okay.
All right, got it. Okay,
All right,
good.
Boom.
Okay.
All right, I feel a little more connected to you now.
Good. All right, give me
We're
some
going to do this.
breathing.
We're gonna, ready? We're
Yeah.
going to in on 5.
In on 5.
5 count in.
5 count
We're
in.
going to hold it for 5.
Okay.
We're going to let it go for 5.
Can I let it go on 3? I'm really feeling anxious.
It's great podcasting to be breathing loudly. You got to
It's
trust
kind
me
of
on
like
this one.
ASMR.
Trust me.
It's an ASMR episode. Get your good headphones out for this.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
All right, you ready? You can't go on 3. You got to hold it 5.
5. Okay.
You got it.
I got it.
That's how we get connected. Ready?
Yeah.
And all right, we had a little early exhale there, little premature exhalation from my partner. But other than that, I feel great. I feel connected.
Good.
I feel
better.
rejuvenated, reinvigorated, rehabilitated. I do.
Good.
I do.
I do too. Well, welcome everyone to Confidentially Breathing.
A better way to connect with your partners.
And today we have a great anxiety-free episode coming your way.
It is going to be great. We got a lot of great stuff to talk about.
We really do. Because today we're talking about a cool scene in a liquor store. And aren't all liquor store scenes cool?
Nick's Liquor.
Nick's, that's right. You got to
Nick's
go down to
Liquor.
Nick's and get your liquor for the big party.
I mean, I would go to Nick's Liquor for on my way home.
Right next door to the cleaners. I
That's
noticed
right.
that. Yeah. So if you
You
can
did notice that.
do both
You can
stops.
double dip.
Yeah, exactly. Get
Yeah.
your suit cleaned and
That's
then go next door and
that's
get
right.
a
That's
nice
right.
eye opener.
Get some lippy service from Nick himself.
That's right. Yeah.
He's a little lippy,
Yes.
that guy.
He's
There's a little foreshadowing there.
got a little
He's
bit
got
of
a
an
little bit of a
attitude.
smart aleck.
little dude.
Little thing
working.
going on there.
And
Yeah.
do we know that that's Nick, though? I guess is the
I
question.
assume it's Nick.
But I mean, he seems like an underling to me.
In the 50s, during the holiday season, the owner of the bar or the packaged goods store is going to be at the packaged goods store. That's just how men were.
It's a high season for packaged
That's
goods.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And Nick's putting his best foot forward, which is Nick himself
Oh, boy.
being a little lippy.
I don't want to see what his second best step is, because the customer service is lacking at Nick's, I have to say.
Look, I mean, he makes a good point. We'll get into it, right? When we get into it, but he does make a good point. I'm sure these guys are getting the fucking cop discount.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
maybe he has reasons.
That's true. That's a good point. Yeah, that he's probably giving this liquor away as
probably
protection or whatever.
Discounted.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why he's a little
liberty. I bet Stens takes a little too often.
In this scene alone. He takes his liberties with it. You know what I mean?
He does indeed.
Yeah.
He does indeed.
He does. Okay. So you want to jump to the top of this thing?
Yeah, let's do it. You got the script going?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, wait. Before we get into this, there's something I got to get off my chest.
Oh, good. Get it off.
I like to start with a clean slate.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd like to wipe something clean in my house. And I don't know how to do that other than housekeeping.
40-year-old men are so often wrong, so here is our housekeeping song.
My brother.
Yes, sir.
My brother.
Yes.
I'm saying this connected to you. I feel very close to you right now. I got you a gift.
You did, too.
Right?
Zumbo got me socks. There's some awesome socks with guitars on them.
We're putting a pin in this. Bill's a fun socks guy.
Yeah.
You know, there's like two kinds of people in the world. There's fun socks guys and not fun socks guys. You know, utilitarian socks guys.
There you go, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm a part-time fun socks guy. Not every day. I'm not like putting on fun socks every fucking day. But like, you know, then they're mostly the work socks, you know what I mean? And you sneak them in under your khakis,
Sure.
to make it a little fun.
Yeah, but
little
then you catch a glimpse of them, or you show a little somebody if you happen to be talking.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, those are fun socks."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm a part-time fun socks guy.
End of conversation. That's how it goes every time.
Wait, come back. I'm a part-time other stuff guy too. All right, now I feel good. Okay, good. Breathing it out. We're getting into this housekeeping. You were so wrong,
about
my
what?
brother. About 2 times on this podcast.
Yes.
I had mentioned that something was something, and you patently denied it both times.
Okay.
One time, you even said, "Absolutely not." That's 2 times.
Okay.
You took my knowledge, made me hide it under a bushel, made me feel bad about knowing the right thing.
Okay.
All right. Do you have any inkling as to what this is?
No. I think it probably has something to do with an Ulrich. or other.
I think we're clean on the skeet slate.
Okay, good.
That was clean on the skeet slate.
That's nice.
Come on.
Nice. You got to keep that thing clean. You know, you don't want. It's going to get it dirty itself anyway. So
Yes.
you got to kind of keep after it.
As well as our houses, which I'm about to do right now. I get keeping them clean.
Lay it on me.
This is a synopsis pulled from the internet. I'm going to read it aloud to you now.
Okay.
One of the major plot points of MASH's final episode, entitled Goodbye, Farewell, and Amen. Through therapy, we see Sidney Freeman working with Hawkeye Pierce, and he uncovers a repressed memory about a bus ride. He thought he told a woman to silence a noisy chicken, but it was actually her infant baby. She smothered the baby in fear of alerting the enemy troops. Confronting this truth is pivotal to his emotional healing.
Okay, so that was in the final episode of MASH?
That's right.
Okay, I was wrong then. I was 100% wrong. I remembered it as being
Both
a
times.
separate episode.
This is
but okay.
so Darabantian in the way that you were wrong. I don't care that you're wrong, but sometimes when you're like so like Exley about it, and you're just like fucking, you have this smug gear. Where you're like, Zumbo, are you kidding me with that being the last episode? Like, are you serious right now?
How could they go out on that? Suffocating a child on a bus? You can't close out your series on that.
That's why it's stuck in my brain.
Yeah,
You know?
it would. Was that a 2-parter?
It was a long,
like
it was
a 2 hour,
it was a 90-minute episode.
90 minute,
and I think they did have an intermission.
I think you're wrong.
Man, that has been sticking.
Does that feel good?
Oh, it feels so good. You ever have a housekeeping made you feel like you just slept for 12 hours?
That's $1.
Is it?
think
I guess it is. You're right.
maybe.
You're right.
It's
No, you're
close.
right. You're right. You're right. You're right. I'm not going to fight you on that.
Okay. Well, that was good. Thanks for bringing that to my attention.
Yeah.
I love being right, but every once in a while I'm not. And so you gotta eat the humble pie and take your medicine and say, yes, I'm wrong. I was very wrong. And I apologize for exlying your knowledge.
Well, that's just so grown up and healthy.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy.
Feels good.
It does feel good.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we can move forward together.
Fantastic.
Right.
All right. All right. So we're at Nick's liquor store. Bud is already there.
Bud is there.
He's waiting.
At some point, before this scene even happens off stage, you got to think either Stens is just fast asleep or he's like, you go in.
Right?
Yeah. It's one of those two. Is he fast asleep like a baby in the backseat of a moving car?
It could be both, frankly. You know what I mean? He could just pull up and go, you go in. I ain't going in the fucking... Stensland is unreal. Because when he does eventually emerge from the backseat of the car, he does look super sleepy.
Oh, he's so sleepy.
Like he just woke up.
He's so sleepy.
Yeah.
He's rubbing his eyes, the whole deal.
Yeah.
And I think when Wendell comes out and puts the case of liquor on the car is when he gets stirred. I think he's like,
he can smell it. It's like Scooby Snacks.
like Scooby Snacks, exactly. Yeah.
Nick's liquor?
Yeah. That's my kind of Scooby Snack.
Real Kentucky bourbon? Rinks? Rasmopolitans?
Yeah, Scoob.
Yeah, Stens. Got you some liquor.
I love that. I love your Bud White.
Not good.
No, it's very good.
Oh, thanks. So we're in the liquor store. Bud is like standing there waiting, impatiently for his liquor.
I mean, it seems like he's fine, right?
Yeah, more
Right?
or less.
Not like he's a little bothered because always.
Yeah.
But he's just standing there like he's like flipping through a magazine or something.
Yeah. Just waiting. He's got his phone out. He's going through. He's going through his.
Nick's like, what the fuck is that? Holy shit, dude! What is that?
Shut up and get me my liquor.
Oh, we could do wonders with this Bud White impression. I love this.
So yeah, he's waiting around, and Nick is not too happy to be fulfilling this order.
Yeah,
I can't remember what he says, but he gives him some lip right up the top, doesn't he?
If I ever get held up, you guys better be here. He says it like that.
That's it. And do you recognize the actor?
I don't.
You don't?
No.
This is a fun one.
All right.
He's the same actor. It took me a while to realize who he was.
Love this.
And I think I watched this movie and then the other movie I know him from in, close proximity.
Oh, cool.
So I was able to there he is. There's Nick from Nick's Liquor.
Yeah.
In another movie. And he's Al Capone's defense lawyer at the end of The Untouchables.
What the fuck?
Yeah, the guy who's like, Your Honor, we would like to change our verdict.
I remember that guy very vividly.
It's him. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And he gets punched out by Al Capone shortly thereafter.
Yeah. Because what are you doing here?
Right, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. What is this? What are you doing?
What are you doing here? What's going on? What are you doing? What is this? What are we doing here?
That was just like the beginning of our podcast today.
I have a De Niro gear. I'm not. You talking to me? Are you talking to me?
Yeah. So I was so happy to discover that because I was like, I knew that guy from somewhere.
That's so much fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
I love that too. Two great movies that go great together. And there's music playing in the background.
That's right.
And I don't know if did you recognize the tune?
I did not. No, I did not make a note of what it was.
It's Mele Kalikimaka.
Is the wise way.
The Hawaiian
to say
Christmas
Merry
song.
Christmas
Yeah,
to
the
you.
Hawaiian Christmas
I
song.
love that.
Sung by Bing Crosby and the Andrews sisters. And it is, I thought it was interesting because it is Mele Kalikimaka is the thing to say on a bright Hawaiian Christmas day.
That's right.
And I thought it was an odd choice for a song here, right? But even though it's Christmas time, that one specifically seemed a little weird to me. But I thought about it a little bit. I thought, it's kind of like the whole theme of perception and reality is in that song too, because we don't really think about.
Here we go. Billy's breaking it down.
Oh, baby. We don't really think about Christmas and Hawaii going together. Like we don't think about bright sunny days and palm trees and Christmas. Mostly.
No, I think that's the gimmick of that song.
Exactly.
That's what makes it so fun.
And that's why I think it fits in this movie.
Because it's California.
Yeah. And also because it's just two ideas sort of fighting each other too. The perception of Christmas being snow and North Pole, and then the song being about palm trees and Hawaii and all that kind of stuff.
But I got a bunch of California friends, and like they're always talking about how like none of that stuff that that matters to us. Like, oh, I hope it snows on Christmas. It doesn't matter to them. They don't give a shit. You know?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And I think that's And then you get the Hawaii version of that. You know.
Yeah. Same diff. Yeah.
I would love to one day spend Christmas in Hawaii. I think that'd be fucking amazing.
It would be pretty cool.
Right.
I was there for New Year's Eve once.
Oh,
it was lovely.
Very close.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, from a calendar standpoint,
for sure. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I love Hawaii.
Was it awesome?
Yeah, it was. I mean, I was there for work. I'm pretty sure, but still, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Anytime you get to go to Hawaii is a good trip.
A bunch of years back, I almost took a tour. I hate tours.
Me
they're
too.
Brutal.
Yeah.
I almost took one because it ended in Hawaii for 3 weeks.
Oh, a tour, like a work tour, like a theater tour.
Touring show.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
3 weeks in Hawaii?
3 weeks in Hawaii.
Oh, dude, that would have been worth it.
Yeah, and it ended there. So, like, it's 3 weeks in Hawaii and then you're home.
Yeah,
that seemed like worth all of the other bullshit, but I decided against it ultimately.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Maybe next time.
That might come up again.
Who knows?
You never know.
You never know.
Yeah.
I didn't think I'd be here right now talking to you.
You didn't?
I mean, this morning I did, but I mean, like a long time ago, I never would have imagined I'd be having a podcast until you talked me into doing one.
Well, that's not how this one went down.
No, not this
was
one,
me
but
trying
the
to talk
others.
you into one, and then you counter offering this one.
Yeah, this was a negotiation. Faux show.
Yeah, that's right.
And it all worked out.
Yeah, it did. It's working out as we speak.
We all win. It's great.
Everything okay over there?
Yeah, just a little bit of a runny nose.
Oh,
so
I'm sorry.
If you hear any weird sounds, if you've still got those ASMR headphones on, you might want to put those away and get the crappy ones out again.
You got good mic technique. You'll go the distance.
Yeah, I'll try to get it out. My schnoz out of there.
And so, okay, are we moving on?
Please.
We
Yeah.
Then, for the clouds part and the sun breaks through the sky and lights up all the colors and the music crescendos, and here comes Lynn motherfucking Bracken.
Just cloaked.
Shrouded like a nun in a habit. Which is beautiful, right?
It's great.
I love it. And then Bud White's trying to work the angle. He's like, like fascinated
He
immediately.
he's trying to get around to take a look.
I'm sure I would be too.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get a better look. And then all he can see are her hands, which also have gloves on. And he's like, damn it. So shrouded.
Yeah, I love the nun thing you said. I didn't really think about that. And it's
I think
kinda
100% that's what the designer was going for.
Yeah, and I like that. But it's she swapped the designer swapped the colors, right? So normally it'd be white with a little black outline, and now it's black with a white outline, which is genius. Totally. I love that.
That's a design thing. The second I saw it, I was like, that's nice work.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
That's nice work.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, no, and she looks amazing.
Yeah.
And she's so mysterious.
Yeah.
And she's Lynn motherfucking Bracken. Like, the movie changes in a heartbeat right here because of her.
And what's his name? Nick knows her. Like, he calls her by her first name, Lynn.
Lynn's in there a bunch for entertaining the gentleman.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Pierce has an account. She
Surely.
just swings by and picks up what she needs.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Zumbo here at the local liquor store here. Anybody can just go in there, pick up something off of Zumbo's tab.
That's right.
Take it home.
Always running. I settle up, though. We don't know about Pierce Patchett.
But yeah, you're right. I love too the way Bud is kind of like working around the back there to get a good look at her. And
infatuated.
He's right
infatuated.
Away. Very interested.
Yeah.
And opens up with his best line.
Yeah. I mean, it's apropos,
It
if
is
nothing else.
Timely, very timely. A good old-fashioned Merry Christmas.
It's not bad.
No, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
As someone who's now out in the world saying things to women and hoping to spark a conversation, I'll use a Merry Christmas.
Like in July?
Anytime.
Okay.
Anytime.
Yeah. It might be even more effective in July.
Interesting as fuck if I say Merry Christmas in July.
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
but also crazy.
I wasn't expecting that. What do we have here? A crazy man. I love it.
I just know what day it is. Fantastic.
Probably also doesn't know where we are.
Let me give him my phone number. No, but Merry Christmas on the 23rd or whenever the fuck this is, the 24th. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then she answers with a line that tells you like so much about who Lynn Bracken is and what she can be. She says, "Merry Christmas to you, officer."
Yeah. Devastating.
Fucking unreal.
Devastating.
So good.
Just cuts him down to size like a lumberjack.
But what does it tell us about Lynn Bracken? She knows the fucking score. She knows the score. She fucking knows the score before anyone else knows the fucking score. And she does that later in this scene. She's just in tune with the world and the way it works. And, she's like this new noir whore with a heart of gold version, but better than any of them could ever be. Because she knows the fucking score, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
She's super intuitive.
Yeah.
Like she does it with Exley in that scene later in the movie. Exley
does it throughout the movie.
Again, cuts him down to size like instantly.
Throughout the movie, she's telling people who they are, what they are, why they're doing what they're doing. She's amazing.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that before. I really love the way you laid that out because it's a fascinating character.
Yeah.
Someone who understands the world to that extent.
And she beats people to the punch most of the time about the way things are shaken out. She's an incredibly intriguing character, and not for nothing, but passes the Bechdel test by 1,000 points. You know what I mean? Are you familiar with the Bechdel test?
Yes.
She's a female character that is the moral center of the film, first of all, as a prostitute, and probably the most insightful character among them.
Yeah, knows not only herself incredibly well, but the other characters too.
Yes,
and is interesting in this movie too that she has this double side. Right, the perception is she's like you said, just a hooker that looks like Veronica Lake.
Right,
but the reality is she's so much more than that.
Absolutely,
she's a giant universe behind that image.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Very cool.
Yeah. I love this character.
One other thing I wanted to point out about that little interaction with Bud and her and Nick is when Nick calls her Lynn.
Yeah.
At that point, Bud, because I was wondering, does Bud think she's Veronica Lake when she first walks in?
Oh, interesting.
And is that why he's trying to sneak around to get a glimpse?
Right.
But he says to her, "Oh, hey, Lynn, blah, blah, blah," right off the bat.
Off the bat.
Bud knows it's not Veronica Lake.
Yeah.
It's just some pretty lady. Kind of looks like her.
Plus, we all know you're much better than Veronica Lake. We all know that he says that later.
Yes.
I was shocked at two things in that exchange where she's like, "Merry Christmas to you, officer." I think it put him on his heels so much, and I'm not exactly sure why. And also, 90% of people would know that guy's a cop. It's not, you know what I mean? It's perceptive, but it's not oh, how did she do that?
Right.
You look like a fucking cop, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Almost quintessentially.
Yeah.
So I thought that was funny, but maybe you have some insight as to why Bud was so put back on his heels by that.
I don't know.
Because he really just sheepishly grabs a liquor and
leaves and
sort
slinks out.
Yeah, slinks out. Exactly.
It is interesting. And I think he almost seems ashamed of being a cop. When she says hello, officer.
To her.
Yeah.
Right?
He's
that's a good call.
He's been found guilty of being a cop.
But specifically to her, right? I don't think he would mind if anyone else knew he was a cop. But it feels like maybe with her, he's like, oh, God.
Yeah.
There's no way she likes cops.
Right. Exactly. My reputation is already ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good insight. I appreciate that.
But yeah, and you're right. He just grabs the box. He could go white or whatever Nick says to him.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And storms, doesn't storm out, but he says good evening, ma'am, or
sheepishly,
something.
Squawks, squirrels, slinks. So I think you nailed it with slinks.
But he says something to her, right? Doesn't he say good evening, ma'am, or
he does,
something like that?
Yeah.
Something very polite.
Something very polite and gentlemanly.
Yeah.
But embarrassed AF is very clear.
Yeah. He wasn't expecting that.
That's right.
I think he was hoping for,
right.
come on over sometime. or whatever,
some kind of like, some kind of like give and take.
Yeah, exactly.
But she is clearly intrigued as he's walking away. She's kind of like looking, not giving anything away, but like is not liking what she's saw.
Yeah,
is what I think.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a great moment by Basinger there. I think Kim Basinger is one of the fucking best. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm probably going to say it like 10 more times as we go through this. I think she's one of the best, and we don't give her enough credit. And like, who else could have done this?
She's really good at like underplaying, not doing too much in the role. You know what I mean? She just
absolutely
she doesn't
in any role. But I also think there's a lot of subtlety and grace and beauty to her performance. And like I can't think of another person who could have done this.
I don't know. It's interesting. We haven't cast anybody else in this part.
Sigourney Weaver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You, Michelle Pfeiffer, you gonna do it? I don't think so. We needed Basinger, and we got her.
Because she's got to have like that combination of like she's got to be devastatingly
she's got
good
to
looking.
Stop you in your tracks.
Right.
And then also like carry the moment.
Yeah.
But with a gentleness. I don't know. I think she's extraordinarily good.
Yeah, she's really good. Oscar-winning performance.
Oscar-winning. I mean, we have to say anything more than that?
I don't
think
think
that,
so.
Pfeiffer.
Yeah.
Were you Deborah Winger? I don't think so.
And you like Deborah Winger.
I love Deborah Winger.
So there you go. That's high.
I'm a Winger guy.
You're a wingman. Anyway,
if that doesn't exist, let's start it, please.
Okay.
All right. I'll get my Legal Eagles T-shirt.
Okay, so Bud then comes outside.
He walks out.
And he sees the
puts
car.
The liquor down on the thing.
Well, first he sees Sue Lefferts with the bandage on her face.
He sees Sue Lefferts with the busted sniffer
sitting in the back seat with Pierce
Patchett and Buzz.
And then the front seat is Buzz.
Yeah.
Which for some reason he's sitting in the passenger seat. Buzz Meeks is.
I didn't notice
when
that.
When we first see before he gets out of the car.
Sure? Is this like verified? Oh, you're on your heels now. I didn't notice that. We don't have to make that a thing.
I want to check that though.
Okay.
Well, maybe in the next episode we can follow up on that.
Absolutely.
But it looked to me because there's a very clear shot where Hansen's sort of setting the geometry of that scene of what Bud is seeing, and we see Lefferts and Patch in the back seat, and then it looks to me like Buzz is in the passenger seat.
Yes.
From that angle, we'll have to verify that.
Okay, I thought he was in the driver's seat the whole time, but I wasn't looking that closely. Yeah. So that totally could be, and that would be weird.
It would be odd,
right?
Yeah, because he's the driver. Yeah.
Yeah, but so he sees all that, and then he sees obviously sees the bandage because it's like the whitest thing in the darkest car, and his Wendell sense starts tingling. Right? He's like, I don't like the looks of this.
A battered woman, quick little chum, to the back cave.
And as we find out later, all that stuff comes up. You watching your mom die, watching your dad beat your mom to death. Like even the hint of impropriety in this way is like, it's going to get his blood boiling.
Well, and you can't say he was wrong because the lady winds up dead. Right? He was not wrong.
She was just playing tennis.
Playing tennis?
Yeah, that's what...
At the Night Owl? I didn't think you could do that there.
No, that's what Patchett says. That's how he justifies the nose injury later.
Oh, is that right?
Bud,
a tennis injury.
Yeah, tennis
like
injury.
Yeah.
I think she had been hit with a racket earlier in the day. Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So... Bud puts down the liquor box.
Yes, he does.
I love the way he does this. The way he's got the one extra bottle.
Yes.
So he puts the liquor box down. Takes the extra bottle, turns it upside down.
It's the only way to do that.
And shoves it into the box.
This is the only way to do that.
Butt end up.
You got a full case and you got an extra bottle. It goes in nose first.
Yeah.
That's just the way it goes.
This is a guy who knows how to handle his liquor.
He's definitely done this before.
Right. Exactly. I love that. And then makes his way over to the car. Bum, 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 Bud White, Bud White, Bud White.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum,
Bud White, Bud White, Bud White.
Do-do-do.
Bud White, Bud White, Bud White, Bud White.
Do-do-do-do.
He does. He's walking over there, and then Buzz gets a little. He gets his Buzz senses tingling.
Yeah, and Patchett sort of has a moment where he's shifting uncomfortably in the back seat.
He sure is. Yeah. Yeah.
Tugging at his collar.
Goddamn coppers. See what he wants, Buzz. Doesn't he say that?
Yeah, first. Yeah. So Patchett's got his fancy little cigarette holder. You know,
I love that.
A little effeminate.
Perfect for the character. Yeah,
it's great. It's like an affectation.
Absolutely.
You know, that he's got this thing.
Absolutely.
And I love the way Bud takes out his badge and he raps on the window with it. Knock,
that's
knock,
right.
knock.
Yeah.
And then he twirls it to suggest rolling down the window.
Yeah.
Which I also love.
Yeah. Can I have a word? You know, like rolling it down. Let's go. You see the badge. Tap, tap, tap. Like
Make
have
with
a word.
the window, lady. Trying to have intercourse with you.
And then
Pierce is like, see what he wants, Buzz. Yeah.
And then Buzz steps out of the car like he's going to do something.
Yeah.
But he's like pushing 70. And I'm like, bro, I mean, I know you got a gun, but this guy's, you know, like,
yeah,
don't go stepping.
No.
Don't go stepping as the driver.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And as he makes his way around the back of the car, Bud wipe.
Makes short work of Buzz.
Oh, he sure does.
Bud just fucking puts him in a hold, slams him up against the trunk, has like disarms him,
and rips his wallet out.
Like and his pants.
Yeah.
There's like a ripping sound effect.
Yeah. Totally busted his pocket.
Totally.
I love that. Those are my favorite jeans.
Hey, come on. Ripping my pants like that.
Cut me some slack.
I used to be a cop. We didn't rip other cops' pants off like that.
You want me to take my belt off now? What are you doing?
At least buy me dinner first.
Have you seen my fun socks?
Part-time fun socks guy, Buzz Meeks.
You think so?
I do.
I don't think he's a fun socks guy
at
at all.
Occasionally.
You think so?
I do. I think part-time.
Okay.
Just like you, buddy.
So when Meeks gets out of the car, he lets out a hey, get lost, why don't you?
Right.
Which is, you know, for a guy who doesn't have many lines in this movie, he starts out with a banger.
It's a banger.
Yeah.
You're right. That's the meaty stuff you want to work with as an actor.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
Really just gets right to the heart of it.
So Buzz gets him on the trunk and takes his gun and says, keep your fucking head down.
Yeah. Buzz. He throws a little buzz in there. Buzz.
That's a little later. First, get your fucking head down.
My bad.
And that's when Leland says, cut me some slack. I used to be a cop.
That's right. Yeah. Okay. Uh-huh.
And then he goes through his ID, Leland Meeks.
Yeah.
They used to call me Buzz.
Yeah.
Like, I never heard of you.
Oh, right, because he said, I never heard of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, but maybe you know me by my other name, Buzz. Perhaps you've heard of me by my familial name, Buzz.
To Hollywood Station and beyond. But he doesn't. Bud doesn't give a rat's ass if they called him Buzz.
That's right.
Or anything else.
That's right.
And then he goes back around to check on Sue Lefferts again. And at that point, Buzz sort of rises from the trunk, and we see this close-up of Buzz where he's sort of shrouded in shadow, but his face is clearly lit.
Right.
And it's a very important shot because that's the one. Yeah, it's a good shot. And it's the one that Bud will remember later when he starts to put all this together.
Yes,
and he has this little flashback.
That's right. He does have this very flashback. You're right.
About they used to call me Buzz.
That's right. That's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
So that I guess that's he sees that I don't remember where it is, but it's important for him to remember when he discovers the body or whatever under Buzz Meeks' body.
That's
under the
when
house.
he has the flashback.
I don't
isn't
think
it?
Is it? It could
I think
be.
It's right there.
Yeah, I think it might be. That's what I jotted down.
Yeah,
but who knows?
I think that's where it is.
Often wrong.
No, I mean, as someone who's seen the movie 78 times, I'm gonna say that's where it happens.
Okay, good. And Buzz is actually a very important character in unraveling the whole mystery of the plot of this movie,
yes,
right?
Yes. Huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Because
and I have this a little later.
Oh, okay.
Well,
we can.
But please.
Well, we'll come back to that.
We
We'll
will.
put a
We
pin
definitely
in
will.
that.
Because the Stens' reaction is very telling.
Yes, exactly. So Bud goes back to Sue, asks if she's okay, and Patchett leans over and tells him she's fine. But Bud's like,
I'll handle this, dear. And Bud's like, no, you won't.
Yeah.
I was talking to the lady.
exactly.
Which is, I love that move.
Yeah.
I love that move. I'm not going to listen to you.
Right,
I was
exactly.
talking to her.
Yeah. And he asked her specifically, did somebody hit you? And then Sue Lefferts looks at Patchett like, am I allowed to speak? Or what should I say?
What should
or
I
what
say
am I
here?
supposed
Yeah,
to do?
exactly.
Yeah. Clearly looking for permission to like do anything. Because it's obvious, to me, that was an obvious sign that she's like under his
No doubt.
control
No
or
doubt.
spell or
Yeah.
whatever's
Yeah,
going
yeah,
on,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then there she is again. Here comes Lynn Bracken.
Here comes Lynn Bracken
Out
to
of
settle the
nowhere.
score.
Yeah.
Tell everybody what the fuck is happening.
Right.
And to calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's fucking amazing.
Puts the fire out.
Fucking amazing. She should have got 2 Oscars. We should have taken one from someone else that year and given her 2. But no, it's not what you think.
Yeah, it's not what you think. But there again, she's being intuitive. Like, she already
knows what he's thinking. Yeah.
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 It's amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, Pierce probably is not really on that level, and certainly Buzz is not really thinking along those lines, and Sue Lefferts clearly needs to be, I mean, we know how she was raised, so it's not like she's the sharpest knife in the drawer, right? So like we need Lynn Bracken to be like, everybody, it's okay.
Right. And then Lefferts says, "You got the wrong idea, mister. I'm fine."
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is good.
It's really good.
It is good.
Especially when we meet the mother.
Yeah.
Later.
Yeah.
It just makes so much sense.
Which I can't wait to get into Mrs. Lefferts later on in the movie because I love that lady's
I know.
performance.
Same.
She's so
Same.
great.
I've been working on my Mrs. Lefferts. I'm not going to unveil it yet, but it's a work in progress. We'll see how it goes.
I cannot wait. And this is another important shot where she says, it's not what you think, mister. I'm fine.
Right.
Because it's another flashback for Bud later on when he sees her dead on the
That's on the slab.
when the mom identifies
That's
her.
right.
He remembers who she was.
I was going to do it.
Oh, you're going to do Mrs. Lefferts?
Well, it looks like my Susan, but I don't know.
That's pretty damn
I'm
good.
getting there.
That's good.
I can take some rough edges off of that, but it's going to be all right.
So this scene really sets up a lot of shit, like
It certainly does.
for the rest of the movie.
It certainly does.
There's a lot of foreshadowing and stuff going on here.
Yes.
And Lynn then sort of wraps up the whole thing by saying to Bud,
Do it.
"But it's nice to know that you care."
I have this noted and underlined because I think, despite the fact that she says it with a sarcastic tone, it's 100% earnest, and I love those things. I love those things, and I think that's true in Basinger's performance. And I think that's true in the script. That's probably what they were going for. I think she does think it's nice to know that he cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because she's a nice lady.
But she says it while keeping the wall up.
Right,
Like I'm not letting you in, but I am going to say this thing that I think is true.
Right.
And I noticed that in my life, people doing it to me doing it to people, and I love when it's captured so well.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I think and the other thing about it is it's not only true to her, but it's a true statement that Bud does care.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, so, and again, it's her being intuitive and noticing, he's just not harassing these people just
No.
because,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? He really wants to help Sue Lefferts if she's in trouble.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's...
Everybody but Stens knows that Bud means it, that he cares. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bud is just, or Stens is just too cynical
Stens
to
is
even
just
go
like,
there.
He can't even, wouldn't even believe it if if it was him.
Right. And then she and Bud share a real look.
That's
you know
right.
What I mean?
They do. They connect there.
They connect. They go eye to eye.
Yep.
And then they pretty much. Oh no, they don't go off yet. But this is where Stens comes waddling out.
He comes
of the
waddling
car,
out of the back seat.
half asleep, all bleary.
After his little baby nap. Wanting more of his baba. He's just such an enormous infant, man.
Yeah,
That's what he is.
Yeah, he is. He is.
But he has a very telling moment here with Bud.
But he's clearly like an archetype, a true archetype of a type of man who exists in the world.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Almost every cop.
Yeah, a lot.
So many cops are that guy.
Yeah. It's scary.
Yeah.
But very accurate.
Yeah. And then, I forget what the exchange is actually, but
Bud gives Leland Meeks his bullets back. So he empties the gun of bullets and takes the bullets, gives him his gun back.
I love that.
In a very stylish way, the way he kind of flips
he flips it open, does it like he's done it a billion times.
Exactly. Hands it back to him. And then he says a lovely line, drive safely. Which is super.
It's so good.
It's really good.
It's so good.
Really good. Especially if you're going to be sitting in the passenger seat, dumb nuts.
But, don't give a guy back a loaded gun, right?
Yeah,
That's
for
just
sure.
good practice.
Especially not Buzz.
Especially not Buzz.
Yeah. And then Stens is like, what's going on?
Let's go, man. We got to get this booze back to the fucking precinct, bro. What are you doing?
Bro,
what are you doing out here? Come on.
I'm not going to get drunker standing around here, bud.
This booze isn't going to drink itself, man. Somebody's got to drink it. Let's go.
And Meeks really shoots Stensland a look.
Yeah,
at this point.
They know each other.
Yeah,
very well.
And Meeks is staring at him like, what the fuck? I'm trying to do business.
Exactly.
I'm trying to do business here. I'm trying to do business. I'm a businessman. I'm trying to do business. And your partner is harassing me.
That's $1.
That's $1 for sure. That's $1. And your fucking partner is harassing me.
Yes.
And my client.
Yes.
Back off, sir.
Back off.
Yeah.
Back right the fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so Bud, of course, notices this little look.
Oh, he sure does.
And asks him if he knows.
You know him?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know him?
Yeah.
And Stens just says, yeah, I've seen him around.
Seems like well played by the actor who I don't know the name of, but there takes a little moment as if to figure out what he should be saying to Bud, right?
What's the shot here? How do I play this?
What do I say?
Yeah.
And I think he probably lands like right in the middle of something that is believable and semi-true, but not the whole truth.
Exactly. Not the whole truth, but not the whole truth.
Seen him around means you could have seen him around for 30 years while you guys worked together.
Or it could mean you're dishing heroin together or whatever. Who knows?
Yeah. Right. No, both part of the same sort of criminal underground and know each other that way.
Yeah. Seen him around.
Yeah.
And then he says, used to be a cop, and then he laughs.
And then he laughs.
This really hilarious laugh and picks up the booze and keeps laughing.
Also very telling, that laugh, I think, right?
Yeah, for sure. He's like covering up something.
If you're Bud White, you're like, it's not that funny. What's going on here? Like, there's something going on here.
Right. Yeah. But he clearly doesn't, they're partners, he and Bud, but Stens clearly doesn't trust Bud enough to let him in on what's really going on.
Absolutely.
Right? So
no, absolutely. Because I think he knows Bud's not for that. He doesn't have that. He's not going to go past that line.
Right. He's not that corrupt.
Right.
At least not yet.
No.
Right. So
Right.
Yeah. So even though
that's right. He's supposed to be very young in this film too.
Yeah.
So that's a good call.
Right. And even though
bringing him along slow, maybe.
Right. He clearly admires Stensland and likes him a lot.
Definitely.
As we find out later.
Yeah.
But
I think I would like Stensland. I think I'd agree that he was a lousy cop, but I think I'd be like, Stens, you want to go grab a drink?
Taking the Dodgers game tonight, Stens?
Stens seems like a good hang. Yeah. Right? Why not?
Why not? Totally. But clearly he knows that Bud has the moral character that he would probably shut down this whole secret heroin situation if he knew about it.
Yes.
So he can't, like you said, he makes the decision not to let him in on this
Which
whole
is
thing.
Probably a decision he's had to make a few times, them being partners and all.
Could be,
running into some stuff that could get shady if Bud looks a little harder at it.
Right, or he could be like, excuse me for 4 hours, Bud, I got to go take care of something.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
the connection between Stensland and Buzz, like I was saying, is very important in unraveling the whole mystery of the plot.
Yes, sir.
And in the novel, Meeks is like the first character we meet in the story.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, the opening scene is Meeks is trapped in a deserted old broken down hotel.
Okay. Like the Victory?
Like the Victory,
Nice.
very much like the Victory, out by the highway somewhere.
Right.
And armed gunmen are descending upon him in groups, small groups, just like at the Victory
Just
Motel.
like at the Victory, yeah.
And, the shotgun shells are flying past his ear and all that kind. He's hiding behind the furniture and all that kind of.
Right.
And then at the end, in comes Dudley Smith, and I guess he might get shot in the leg and be sort of laying on the floor or whatever, and Dudley comes in, oh boyo or whatever, and then he kills him.
Fucking Dudley.
Yeah. So that's the first thing that happens in the novel,
right?
Is we see the murder of Buzz Meeks by Dudley Smith, and that scene, like you intuitively, like Lynn Bracken figured it out, but that was the scene when they were writing the screenplay was the inspiration for the climax of this movie at the Victory Motel,
right?
Because the climax in the book is like it's big and wide ranging and there's stuff happening like
expensive to shoot.
There's stuff happening like 3 different places and it's just all over the place.
Gotcha.
But I love the idea that they took inspiration from that first scene in the book, and put it as the climax of this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
And just kind of tweaked it a little bit and just kept the sort of the spirit of it, but put, Exley and Bud in that situation instead and made that the final thing. It's really clever.
I love it.
It's a brilliant idea.
I love the ending of the movie, and I love that it was borrowed from something in the book and turned into gold.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
And I think the ending of the movie to me is more impactful than the ending in the book. Like I vaguely remember the ending of the book being Vincennes lives a little longer in the book. He's there to do this final showdown where they're going to figure out how to get Dudley and all that stuff.
Right.
Before he does get killed. But it works so much better in the movie because it's so much more focused and contained.
Yep.
And it's claustrophobic and it's great.
Yeah, it is great. It's really great. It feels dark and ominous and scary and all of the things that are not the place you want to die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
a
really
trap.
good.
They both fell for the trap.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just so clever.
Right.
Like,
yeah, right. They kind of both knew it was a trap and went anyway, right? They even say that in the film.
I thought they said, one of them says well, you called me here or something, and then the car started coming.
We'll get into it when we get into the scene, but I'm sure there's some allusion to it being this is probably going to end us.
Yeah.
We both knew it, but how else is this going to go?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Which is great.
We got to follow every lead.
I love that. I thirst for something like that in my life. I'm like, well, this could be it. Let me get into it.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun.
It's good.
I like it.
It would be fun. I mean, not exactly how I was thinking about it, but I think we'd be better men for it if we got through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I got you. All right. So that's the end of the scene, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Reached it.
That's the one that's what we're talking about there.
Boom.
Yeah.
Done. Now you want to get in. We were going to also discuss the lady who you've already brought up, Ms. Basinger.
Everybody knows my thoughts and feelings, right? But I have a ton more to say if we're going to talk about
Let's talk about it.
Do you have anything to say about Miss Basinger?
I'll say this.
Okay.
I did not know that she was in my childhood TV viewing.
Yeah,
which
she
I just
certainly
found
was.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
that she was on an episode of Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that's right.
In 1976.
That's absolutely right.
One episode of The $6 Million Man.
$6 Million Man, yeah.
In 77.
That's right.
And then an episode of Vegas.
This is the mind-boggling one.
In 1978.
I know. It's crazy.
I mean, she must have been, she was much older than the two young actors she's working with in this, but she was 12 or 13 years older than Russell Crowe or something in this movie when they made it.
Right.
But I didn't realize
Not that
she,
you know it to look at her.
No.
I mean.
And I didn't realize that her career went back that far. I had no idea.
Yeah.
None.
Child actor. Nepo baby.
Never knew that.
To a family, Hollywood family.
Yeah, I didn't.
The whole deal.
Yeah, I didn't think of her until the 80s, you know what I mean? And all those big movies that she did.
Yeah.
But
no, for sure.
Surprising.
For sure. Same. I think that's when we all sort of woke up to Kim Basinger.
Yeah.
She had a little foundation of acting as a youngster.
Yeah.
Which is good.
It's fantastic.
And it didn't ruin her, thank God, which is what happens to a lot of people that start at that age.
That's true. Very true.
No, this woman became an Oscar winner and part of the Baldwin family.
Oh, that's right.
I mean, let us not forget power couple Alec Baldwin and Kim Basinger.
That's right.
Right?
That's right. I did forget about that.
Ran Hollywood for years.
I did forget about that. That's hilarious. I forgot that.
You were very good in that movie. I mean, the luckiest, most handsome couple I mean, can you even... Whatever. I'm not going to get into it. Vegetarian Kim Basinger?
Oh, okay.
Did you know this?
I did not know that.
Did a lot of work with PETA over the years.
Oh, okay.
Near and dear to my own cabeza. Right?
That's your head,
Oh.
by the way. You're pointing to your chest.
What is this?
Corazon.
Corazon. That's what I meant. My corazon. Also my head, though.
Yeah, your head.
That might have
sure.
been a Freudian Espanolish.
That could have been.
Because I think I maybe love more with my head than my heart.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't know what to do with that. Yeah. That's a
I'm very
noise that
confused.
people make when I've said something and they don't know what to do with it. How did you feel out there in podcast world, I wonder? If you have a thought, let me know. Because does everyone that I talk to feel like Bill at some point and just be like, I don't know what to do here, so I'm just going to make a noise.
Yeah. But if you are out in podcast world and let Zumbo know,
Let me know.
don't expect a response.
Wait.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, let me. This is how I'll respond.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Through this thing. That's how I like to respond.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know what I mean?
So I bring it to you
That's
at some point,
I mean,
and
yeah.
then you respond through the microphone.
That's the burden of running the show, of flying the plane. That's you. That's the burden. I'm support staff. You bring to me.
Now, see, that sounds the opposite way around to me. The person who gets brought stuff is not the support
boss,
staff.
The best boss is the hardest working guy in the room. That's what you're not. You help your support staff thrive.
Yes.
That's how you win.
true.
Yeah.
True.
So do that.
Okay. Go on.
Here we go. So what I love about this character, there's a couple things I want to say about the way she approaches the character and the character itself.
Okay.
But like she's a fantasy, right? Like in the world of the movie, she's
Yep.
a fantasy. She's a reproduction in a way, right? She's trying what's sellable about her is that she looks like somebody else.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So she's like she's weaponized this resemblance and has used it to like garner some sort of power in the world, and I think that's beautiful. Like she used it as an opportunity,
Right. Right.
Right?
Yeah.
and so like right away she has all this agency because we learn things throughout the film like I choose to look like this. She makes it her thing. She says that. Mm-hmm. And then she also says, like, it's just my hair, bro.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I didn't have to go to any crazy lengths to look like Veronica Lake. I just do.
Right, and that's her advantage over the other girls.
100%.
Is she doesn't have to go to the crazy plastic surgeon, the sketchy backdoor plastic surgeon to get
Right,
this plastic
exactly.
surgery. She just dyed her hair.
Just dyed her hair.
So it's not quite as life altering
Yeah,
a decision.
that's right.
She can always kind of go back from this.
And she does.
So at the end of the movie,
Yeah.
new haircut, new Lynn Bracken.
New hair color, the whole deal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I love how she weaponizes her resemblance to Veronica Lake and like really advances herself with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the novel, she's described as having dark hair, and I think there's a point at which Bud sees her with the dark hair. In fact, I think the scene where they have sex in her special room.
Yeah.
She's like washed the dye out or something, and she comes in as a brunette.
Dope.
Or he imagines her as a brunette or something. But
Well, I wish she came in as a brunette. That'd
Yeah,
be
she might. There's definitely a description of her as a brunette.
That'd be cool.
And the way Bud experiences her in that special room. Yeah. So she definitely, the hair color. It's the hair. I guess the
You
length.
tiptoed around that like you were talking to a youth group. And how Bud experiences her in this special room.
One time I did this thing one time for a friend of mine. It was an acting job, and we were performing this thing for like these giant like youth conferences thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. We did 2 shows, one in Tennessee and one in Texas or something. And the like one of the leaders who was up there speaking to this crowd of thousands of teenagers literally said to them, "Okay, everyone, thanks for a great day. Now, when you go back, make sure you're wholly in your hotel room."
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to make me act up more than someone telling me to be wholly in my
Be
hotel
only
room.
in your hotel room. I mean, that's goddamn it. They so miss the mark in the worst way, and they never know it. I love it. So the character also is like this perfect like Madonna whore thing, right? Like is very nurturing, very very kind,
Yeah, maternal almost.
very gracious,
you know?
very maternal, very like care is a huge part of how she loves, clearly, which is beautiful. But then she's also a prostitute,
Right.
You know what I mean? And like typically one does not feed the other, and one of them goes away.
Right.
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 But Lynn is it. We see Lynn in this place right now, presently, where that's the fence she's on. And
Right.
she's riding that as far as it'll take her.
Yeah, and I think she knows that this is temporary. She hopes it is anyway. That
Right.
this is just a temporary thing,
Right.
Till she can get on her feet and go
Exactly.
have a real life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. And like she sleeps with Ed, and that's a weird. And like I think as an audience, we're all like, "What's going on here?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a tough part of the movie for me.
It is
you know,
for,
it really
I think
is.
for a lot of guys, it probably is. But I don't like she sleeps with Ed, and we don't hate her for it. And I think we also get that she knows that the game is being played, and she has to play this part in it.
Right.
You know
right.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think she gets that.
Yeah. And she definitely thinks she was
It's
doing the
incredible.
right thing. You know what I
Definitely.
mean? She's been told you have to sleep with this guy in order to help Bud or whatever.
That's
blah
right.
blah blah.
She thought it was helping Bud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is probably the only point in the movie where she's not intuitive, like where she didn't figure that out. That like somebody's playing me.
I guess
here.
she didn't. I guess,
You know?
yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point. And the last thing about the character is like some men get the world, others get ex-hookers and a trip to Arizona. This is
Yeah.
how she ends the film.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, first of all, that's a trip I'm taking every time. You can put me in the back of that car with the bandage on and the whole thing. I'm going to Arizona with Lynn Bracken. There's no question about it. But I love that they together at the end of the film, they realize because of her, I think that they're not the heroes and they're going away. They're going to leave. They're leaving that guy. But I think it takes real power to be like, I'm leaving and I think you should come with me. Because that's clearly what happened. Right?
Yeah.
And I think she really is like, I don't know, like really, really sort of orchestrating the perfect ending of that moment.
Yeah, it's interesting. I haven't really thought about that that part of the because we're not there yet in the movie. So
No,
I haven't
for sure.
done a lot of heavy thinking about
But
it.
like, we're
But I
not
think-
going in order, so.
Yeah, exactly. So what the fuck? But I think you're on to something. That there is sort of this, each of the three heroes has their own little story arc, right?
Yeah.
One ends tragically, one ends heroically, and then Bud's is kind of somewhere in between, right? Like
right.
he's
Exactly.
kind of diminished, but removed from danger, right?
Right.
Like he's taken
Right.
out of this situation so that he can go and grow and become the man that he stopped being sort of a boy and seeking revenge all the time.
That's
and,
right.
and grow into a man,
Absolutely.
with this woman. So and
Right.
she's sort of the facilitator
She
of
is.
that.
Yeah.
So I think you make a good point. It's a really interesting way that story arc kind of winds up.
Yeah, I think her power is allowing us to feel really great about the end of another hero
Yeah.
in the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
he's in good hands with Lynn Bracken.
Yeah, right. That might be the better life. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
He's like,
Yeah.
maybe Bud wins the movie.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think so.
Yeah, Exley's still going to be swimming through a sea of bullshit, at the LAPD.
Nothing but corruption and nonsense.
Exactly. Yeah. And Vincenz is better or worse. He's dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's keep a running tab on who wins the movie. But right now I have Bud leading the way.
Okay.
All right. Bud's out in front.
Okay.
I think that's something we should keep checking in on.
I think so too. Yeah, that's good.
And Lynn to a lesser extent, Bud and Lynn sort of as a combo win the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, Mrs. Lefferts does pretty well. She gets the money. She gets the money out of Buzz Meeks's wallet.
Oh, don't go down there.
So I mean, I'll put her up there too. Little spending money
it's true.
for
It's
nothing.
like 1 and 1A.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Gets the rat taken out from under her basement so her house doesn't smell anymore. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah.
A lot of benefits.
Yeah.
Well, here's something else I didn't know about
Please.
old Kim Basinger.
Yeah. Yes.
That she had had agoraphobia.
Yes.
Which is the fear of going outside.
Suffered horribly for
She
many years.
Was housebound for up to 6 months at a time.
Yes.
Before she got therapy.
I remember reading this about her
That's
way back in
crazy.
the day. Yeah. It felt really bad.
It is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd also be like, you want me to just stay home?
I'll keep you company.
I'll be here.
Yeah, right.
I'll be right here.
So yeah, and I.
You want me to go out and get you some gum? What do you need? Well, I'll bring it right back.
Yeah, you don't have to go out.
I'm fine.
You never need to go out again if you don't want to.
I think that was during the end of the Baldwin era.
Well, yeah.
And we know how he can be.
We do know
We've
how
seen
he
it
can
on.
be.
So, that probably didn't help.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he was the cause.
Right.
I'm not saying he shot anyone. But I'm saying he was probably part of the problem.
Probably.
In both cases.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
He's a Baldwin. He's a bad boy. He's a bad boy.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, do we think we should cast Alec Baldwin in this movie?
Let's.
Who would they play? Who would they play?
John Hamm, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Heather Graham, the boys from Wham.
Who would they play? Who would they play?
Chris Pratt, Chow Yun-Fat, Benjamin Bratt, Oliver Platt.
Who would they play? Who would they play? Who would they play?
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin.
You
big,
see this
big
watch?
star. Yeah.
You see this watch?
We know him well from Glengarry Glen Ross.
We know him very well. I just want to say I just saw the youngest Alec Baldwin I can remember in Working Girl.
Working Girl,
rewatched
that's right.
Working Girl.
Yeah, he's the
and
boyfriend.
I was like, holy shit!
Yeah. He's
Look
the
at all the
boyfriend.
hair on your chest.
Yeah.
He's so young. He looks more like Billy.
Yes.
In that movie.
Yep.
I was like, oh my God, dude, you were perfection.
Yeah, he's like a slightly swole Billy Baldwin.
Slightly
in that.
swole,
Yeah,
but even just slightly, because he
Yeah.
was much thinner and more sinewy than we saw him later in life.
That's true. Yeah, so and he's done a wide range of things.
He
it's not like
certainly
he can
has.
be pigeonholed. He's done a lot of things.
But
so.
don't you feel like he's one of those actors and like this is a thing and I'm not judging. They don't bend to the character. They kind of make the characters bend to them, right?
Yeah.
And it works. They
Yeah.
make it work. They're
Yep.
good in almost everything. He's one of these guys. But he definitely pulls the character towards an Alec Baldwin orbit as opposed to going to meet the character somewhere else.
Right, he's not a chameleon.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's just going to bring Alec Baldwin
gonna bring his
to the character.
Baldwin-ness to
yeah,
it
Yeah,
and-
he's got his own style.
And call it good.
Right. And that's what movie stars do, right? That's the difference between an actor and
For
a
the
movie
most
star.
part. Yeah,
you know?
for the most part. I guess that's true.
Al Pacino went across that line at some point. He was an actor like early in his career, and at some point crossed the line and became Al Pacino, the movie star, and started just being, wacko Al Pacino in movies, So
He did have that era.
Yeah.
I do think he's sort of pulling it back.
He has kind of pulled it back
Yeah.
in his old age.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. But anyway, back to Alec Baldwin. So this seems pretty easy to me. I don't know about you.
You got a guy right off the top.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I do right off the top. So you want to hit me with yours, and or should I just come up with one?
I'm going Bud White.
You're going Bud White.
Yeah. I could hear him delivering some of these lines, in a very
I don't.
goes to Christmas past.
I hear you. I'm sure it would work. I wouldn't deny you this if you were like committed to it. We could totally put him in the corral.
That was just what first popped in my head, but I'm open to
He
suggestions.
just for me, Alec Baldwin never seems like he's gonna get his hands dirty.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
He's a little too.
He's got a thing that is like he's like above all that shit that Bud White is about.
right.
You know
right,
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So I think for me, if we're talking like Working Girl era Baldwin, like the Exley thing could really work.
Yeah, that's true. Like if you think Beetlejuice Baldwin with the glasses on,
similar
nerdy,
era, yeah,
nerdy glasses on guy.
He could
yeah.
really pull off like I'm trying to do the right thing here, cop
yeah.
thing. I think I like him as Exley if you're asking me.
Interesting. That's fascinating. Well, I think we could also kind of slide him into a Vincennes.
Slide him into a Vincennes for sure.
Right? I
Maybe
mean,
maybe that's what we
that
do.
may be the best.
Yeah.
because that's more. I think you could have more
Yeah.
eras of Alec Baldwin take over of Vincennes, and he rises above all
We
that
needed
shit.
the third strike to
Yeah,
hit
yeah,
that
yeah.
one out of the
Yeah.
park.
A lot of people listening to this right now are like screaming into their headphones. Vincennes!
Fucking morons. Yeah, totally.
All right, I love it.
All right, we did it.
Baldwin as Jack
As
Vincennes.
Jack Vincennes. That's fun because it's two Glengarry guys. you know?
Yeah. That's really fun.
Yeah. All right.
Him towering over Danny DeVito. That'll be nice. I'd like to see that.
I don't remember. I mean, that's pretty good, right?
That's really
That's
good.
pretty good.
That's really good.
Yeah, all right.
I love that.
Okay. He gets it done.
Nice.
He gets it done.
Nice.
Yeah. I want to run through some Kim Basinger highlights for me.
Do it.
The things that stuck out that make her one of the greatest lady actors known that we know.
Lay it on me.
And I know that's hyperbolic, and I know people are going to come at me. I know it's Kim Basinger, and I know, but look, you gotta, give me a little leeway here, Judge.
Okay.
Give me just a little leeway.
Okay.
The Natural.
Yeah. I mean,
Memo
just
Paris.
great. Yeah.
Extraordinarily good.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that movie is full of great acting performances, top to
Across the
bottom.
board.
Yeah, top
Across
to
the
bottom.
board.
Yeah, it's great.
You're the best goddamn hitter I ever saw.
I mean, Barbara Hershey is
Barbara
fantastic
Hershey's
in
also
that.
fantastic in
Amazing.
that.
Glenn Close is great in that. I mean, the whole cast is terrific.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Terrific. You good?
Yeah, I'm
You want
good.
to say any more about The Natural and Memo Paris? I mean, she does a lot in that movie to move the story forward, and she is like this perfect, like, toxic personality in his life.
Yeah, there's so much symbolism in that movie, right?
Right.
And
That's all. They're all archetypes of
Exactly.
something else.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
And she is like the sort of evil temptress thing.
Yes.
And she does it so well.
Yeah.
It's really great.
It is good.
It's really great. The Tom Petty video, Mary Jane's Last Dance. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Not familiar with it.
It's a phenomenal song, Tom Petty. I'm going to quote Tom Petty here.
Go ahead.
The songs are written, man. You just kind of have to reach out and grab them. Like he's of this mind that like the song has been written cosmically and he's just a channel to it.
Got it. I see what you mean.
Understand?
Yeah, I got it.
You don't
now.
see what I mean.
No.
You see what Tom Petty
I
means.
do see what Tom Petty. And I kind of agree with that. That you got to be just
Look at this.
You just got to be open to the ideas that are out there. You know what I mean? You just got to be open to them.
I did not expect Tom Petty, Bill Winegardner crossover here. I did not at all.
I bet he wears fun socks every
It
once
has
in a
made
while
me.
too.
I bet he does. 100. Well, he's dead now, but I bet he did.
yeah.
And 100%. This warms my heart to no end. Like award-winning songwriter Bill Winegardner, award-winning songwriter Tom Petty, same page club.
Yeah.
I love this. Anyway, she's in the video. She's amazing. She plays a corpse.
Okay.
Right? Like you'd think it was easy. But she's sort of being like posed and manhandled by a Tom Petty, who's the narrator of the story.
Is this sort of like a Weekend at Bernie's kind of situation?
I mean, yes.
Okay.
But it speaks to something darker or weirder than what was going on in that movie.
Okay.
Which isn't hard.
Right,
Very
right.
surface movie.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, the video I think is trying to be a little grittier, a little darker. But it's good. It's a good video. And I was at the time in my life when I was watching a ton of MTV, and I liked Tom Petty, and I loved Kim Basinger. So
This was probably
that's a
the 80s,
win-win.
right? And that's what we did in the 80s.
I think early 90s, like late 80s, early 90s.
Same thing. Yeah, that's what we did back then, kids.
Kim Basinger is phenomenal as B. Rabbit's mother in 8 Mile. I know you didn't see
8
it.
Mile, right? Yeah,
I know
yeah.
you didn't see it. I know you're not an Eminem guy,
No, I do like M&M's.
but you're like a peanut guy, right?
Peanut butter. Peanut butter. Not peanut butter.
You know I love talking snacks, but I'm in the middle of a run here.
I'm sorry,
I'm
go
trying to. I mean, now I want to stop and talk snacks.
No, we can't do that.
You like the peanut butter M&Ms best?
Oh, yeah.
They're like Reese's Pieces, no?
No, because they've got chocolate involved. Reese's Pieces just have peanut butter. And
But the
it's
chocolate, the hard candy shell had a chocolate around it, a layer under it.
in a Reese's Piece.
I'm pretty sure.
I think it's all peanut butter.
You're saying there's no chocolate in a Reese's Pieces?
That's my stance.
That doesn't seem right, though, does it? Because Reese's, like, their whole fucking thing is like chocolate and peanut butter, right? Am I right?
But if there is chocolate in
Am I
there.
talking to you now? You see you hear what I'm saying?
But here's what I'm saying.
All right.
If there is chocolate in there,
Yeah.
the proportion is way off. You know what I mean? You got to have the right.
Well, the
it's
right
all about
that's
the
all.
proportions.
You're
That's
100% right.
all it's about.
I'm not going to argue with you there.
And that the Reese's Pieces themselves are too sweet. There's no salty like kick in there for a peanut butter. Like if they're
and you're saying
peanut buttery,
M&M's nails a chocolate and peanut butter combo in a hard candy shell better than Reese's is what you're telling me.
1,000%.
This is crazy talk.
This is my hot take for the day.
I mean, I wish I could prove you wrong because I don't eat that shit anymore. But I find it really difficult to believe that there's no chocolate in a Reese's Pieces. That seems insane to me. And if it's true, then what the fuck are they doing? Who's running the show over there?
Well, I can't tell you how disappointed I was the first day I had a Reese's Piece. You know what I mean? Like went to see E.T., came home, give me some of that shit, put it in me. I gotta have it. And I was super disappointed that they weren't good. Like I expected them to taste like a Reese's peanut butter cup with a shell on the outside, and it's nothing like that. They're.
I from memory, I will admit it's nothing like a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Okay, here we go. I'm Googling.
Yep.
Do Reese's Pieces have chocolate in them?
Thank you.
The answer, no.
Wow.
Reese's Pieces do not contain any chocolate.
Okay.
They're described as peanut butter candy in a crunchy shell.
My sincere apologies to you, my friend.
I'm just glad we don't have to do another fucking housekeeping.
And I also, no, same, because I didn't talk about anxiety. But I want to say, I just want to take a moment on this podcast to say, Reese's, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're not putting any chocolate in the thing that you make. You're the chocolate and peanut butter people.
Yeah, guess not.
M&M was like...
Yeah. There was the board meeting, and someone stood up and said, I think there's a missed opportunity here to add some chocolate to a Reese's Piece.
This is the M&M guy?
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
M&M guys?
I am Mr. Mars.
Oh.
From M&M Mars.
Right, Mars, M&M, right,
Yes.
right, of course.
And I'm telling you,
I like
that
you, Mr. Mars.
we could do better. We could do better than Reese's. I think we could beat them at their own game, kids.
Mr. Mars, you're not wrong. I think we have to get the ratio right, though, eh?
Absolutement, mon ami.
I love when you talk French, sir.
Yeah.
So B Rabbit's mom in 8 Mile,
Yep.
a phenomenal performance. Doesn't get the juice it deserves. That woman is completely fucked up, and it's a new thing for Kim Basinger. Like she doesn't, you know what I mean? She's like she's addicted, and she has an alcohol problem, and she's abusive, and all that stuff.
Okay. So gritty. We're talking like a gritty, ugly sort of
I mean,
performance.
as gritty as that movie got, you
Okay.
know. But she was doing a new thing, and was, I thought, very good at it.
Nice.
We can't not talk about Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
She was the biggest part of that summer blockbuster.
Vicky Vale.
I mean, are you kidding me? Like, people went to the movie because of the trailer that they saw with her in it.
Yeah. It's a shame she didn't get more to do. I was thinking about that performance. It's a shame she didn't get more to do, really, because she really is just like doesn't pass the Bechdel test in this one at all.
Not at all.
Just the damsel in distress.
No.
That's
Yeah.
all she is.
No, for sure.
But she still is great. You know, she's great. I always remember the scream she lets out when Batman's taking her into the Batcave, and it looks like they're going to water into the wall, and all of a sudden she screams.
Yeah.
That's great. This is a great moment.
So earnest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. She's fucking great. She's in one of my favorite movies of all time called The Nice Guys, and she's very good in it.
Also with Russell Crowe.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm sure they had some fun times on that set.
Yeah.
Talking about the old days. You know what I mean? Talking about our LA Confidential. And I think that's it. I have something else here that I can't read. All right.
Okay.
But that's a career in and of itself. Plus, she's done a million other things.
I wanted to throw out a movie that was a bomb.
Please do.
But that I think is, I like to think of it because it was made by a guy whose work I love, and that's Ralph Bakshi. And she was in a movie called Cool World.
Oh, Cool World's a great movie.
Yeah, which is half animation, half live action with Brad Pitt.
My boy Brad Pitt is in that.
Yeah, and she's like the body model and the voice of this super hyper sexualized character.
That's right.
Whose name is some sort of a double entendre. I can't remember what her name is now, but
it certainly is.
It's some kind of crazy, like, Juicy Pussy or whatever her name is. Something weird like that. But I personally, I haven't seen it, and I know it didn't do well.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
No, I've never seen it, but I love the work of Ralph Bakshi, and I do want to see it.
Well, then why haven't you seen it?
I don't know. It just it hasn't made it into my thing yet, but it will.
Okay. There was also a few movies where Kim and Alec starred together because they were married and stuff, and those movies are god awful.
Yeah.
They're mostly god awful. One is like a car thief movie,
like The Getaway.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Something like that.
Yeah, stupid.
Not great.
No, they were paying the bills. They had kids to raise and all that nonsense. You got to do what you got to do. I mean,
you got to do what you got to do.
She only got paid $3 million for LA Confidential. So, which seems low. I mean,
she deserves way more than that.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
I mean, she's carrying the film.
Right?
I think.
You think.
I do.
I know you do. I'm not going to disagree. She's great. They're all great. I mean, everybody's great in this.
Everybody in it is great.
That's the really cool thing about it.
Kim Basinger's name in Cool World is Hollywood.
There you go.
which is like a Bond girl, which she also was.
That's right. That was her first big movie.
Yeah,
was
first big movie was a Bond.
The Bond movie.
Yeah,
Never Say Never Again.
No, nevers.
Never Say Never
No, nevers
Again.
out of you, kid. Is that what it's called?
With a geriatric Sean Connery as James Bond.
Those were rough.
Yeah.
Those were rough.
Yeah.
And then they did it again when Roger Moore got too old. They were like, yeah, whatever.
He's still got a couple movies in him.
No, he doesn't. No.
The box office says otherwise.
I love Roger Moore. He will be my Bond forever, but
Oh yeah, he's your favorite Bond?
I mean, he is. But it's because those movies came out when I was going to movies all the time, and Roger Moore was my Bond. What are you going to do? I mean, I know I didn't get the best Bond.
Right, and I love some of those Roger Moore Bonds because, like you, they came out when I was of the age.
Exactly.
Like Moonraker was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. I watched it now. I'm like, ugh.
Yeah.
This is dreck. But back then I was like, this is so much fun.
They're mostly garbage in that era.
Yeah,
those movies.
yeah, they're tough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But boy, back then I loved it. Jaws, the guy with the big teeth, you know what I mean? The silver teeth biting you.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. And that meaty fella doing them now, he's great. I love those movies.
Oh, Daniel Craig?
Daniel Craig, yeah. I think he's great. I think those movies are great, but, he's not my Bond.
And it's the feel has changed.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a totally different vibe.
He's more of a blunt force object
Yes.
now as a Bond than he was like a suave
Yeah.
effeitist.
Yes. True. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's less clever, more punchy, or whatever, shooty and punchy and stuff like that.
No, he is shooty
Yeah.
and punchy. Yeah. But much more tortured also than all of the Bonds. Like really.
Yeah.
Like he's going through some shit, man.
Gets that whole strap. What's the thing with the chair? What's that called again? A Dutch scratching or whatever that's called. What is that?
Gives it the Dutch scratching. Just cut the bottom out of a chair and just wang on a guy's nuts with a weighted sock. Like, what the fuck? A knot and a heavy rope? Is that what it was? It was
Something
just
like
whatever
that. Yeah,
it was.
Yeah. Crazy.
And then he's in that care facility for 6 months after. I'm like, what did they do to your balls, man? Jesus. That's rough. That one's rough.
That's rough.
That's rough. That's a tough beat.
That's a long road to walk right there.
No
especially
turning.
without any talcum powder. All right, we have a couple more minutes probably.
What do we got?
I just wanted to throw out
What do we got? That's a heat quote for you. What do we got? What do we got?
I did want to say a quick thank you to our listeners for
great.
those
I'd like to thank them as well.
Yeah, and those who have rated and or reviewed our podcast at your podcast listening app
helpful.
or whatever.
So helpful.
We love that. It makes me feel good. I
So
know that. I don't, if someone else sees it and listens to it, that's awesome. But it's nice, feedback for us to know that people are enjoying it. You know what I mean?
That is great.
Yeah. So thank you for that.
Sidebar.
Yes.
Are we getting feedback?
Yeah, we have a few reviews.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you should check them out sometime. Maybe I should bring them to you on a silver fucking platter.
As the guy flying the bird, it seems like the way to go. It seems like that's what you should be doing.
And I guess, I could do a quick Zumbo's obsession. We haven't checked in on that for a while.
Let's. I think that's great. That is the thread of this podcast, after all.
All right, well, let's do it.
Yeah.
Obsession, Zumbo's obsession. Can you please give us a clue how this film got to you? Zumbo's obsession.
I just want like ecstasy and glow sticks, all kinds of shit. Talking about my obsession.
That's right. Okay, so here's something that I think may be another clue to your obsession with this movie. Okay.
Are you just going to say Kim Basinger?
No, I wasn't going to say that. Although that's
After today's episode, I think that might be part of it.
Yeah, it's a little obvious. It's a little too obvious. No, I was going to go with another angle. So, Zumbo, what is your favorite sport?
Basketball.
Correct.
Yeah.
Basketball.
Thank you, buddy.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Correct.
This could have really derailed this little segment.
Yeah, I don't know why you get to say correct about my favorite sport. Like maybe it changed to highlight this week. You don't know. Correct.
Luckily, it didn't.
No, basketball forever and ever.
Basketball.
Dear to my heart.
And basketball is known as the ultimate what? The ultimate blank
I guess
sport.
a couple of things, but the ultimate team sport.
Bingo.
Right. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And I know how much you like watching good teamwork on the basketball court.
It's my favorite.
Right, exactly.
It's my favorite.
You love that when a team is all working as one unit.
Yeah,
all
that's
the guys
right.
helping
Thank you,
each
Bill.
other out.
Thank you for bringing this up.
You like this at work, I know. That's why you're in the theater, which is a collaborative art.
I like when the pieces work together. It just brings me a relief that I can't get anywhere else.
Everybody working together on one goal.
That's right. It's hugely important to me.
And I think that could be one of the things you also love about this movie.
Damn it.
Is we go through the struggle of seeing these heroes eventually
Have to work together
and
God damn it!
become a team
Billy boy.
to solve the mystery.
You're right on the money. You're right on the fucking money. How have I missed this? Teamwork.
Makes the dream work.
Baseball.
A man stands at the plate.
He is alone. But in the field, he is part of a what?
Part of
a team. Team. Yes.
Teamwork.
Yes. Teamwork. That's how you do it. That's what gets it done.
Is he going to beat me with a baseball bat?
Yes, teamwork. Billy, that's an incredibly insightful and rewarding thing to hear. I think that's great.
Yay.
I think you're right on the money.
All right, I'm doing good with these Zumbo obsessions.
You are seeing it where I could not.
I'm being
it's a forest for the trees.
Very Lynn Bracken.
I had it different in my head, but
this is as far as we're going to take the Lynn Bracken thing, just so you know. I'm not going to dress up or anything like that.
All right, but can we go to Arizona in the back of a cab?
That we can do.
Nice. No, that's 100% true. I think I love how disparate they are to start and how much they have to cohese by the end to bring resolve.
Yep.
And bring relief.
And it's great to watch, just seeing, like you said, people who are on different pages as far apart as they are.
That's right.
And the things they go through to create conflict within each other early in the movie.
That's
and then
absolutely
they all
right.
Learn to work together. It's really nice to see.
You nailed it, buddy.
It's very satisfying.
You're killing it this episode.
Woo.
This is a great Winegardner episode.
Woo.
I'm serious.
All
I'm
right.
serious. No, for real. For real. I mean it.
Okay.
You did it, buddy.
Yay. That's good. Well, I feel good about that then. I think that's a good way to go out on a high note.
Yeah, okay. Let's kill it there.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
But this is really good.
It was good.
And next time we got some more really good, fun stuff coming at you.
I mean, I'm sure everyone believes that because you said that so earnestly and so believably.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Next time we're gonna have some really very good, okay stuff for you guys. It's gonna be great. I think I feel good about the episodes we have on deck.
Good.
I do.
Yeah, as you know, part of my anxiety coming here today was because I didn't come as prepared as I would like.
Yeah, can I take a minute and get into that?
Yeah, go for it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because it's okay if you're like, I'd rather not right now. We're trying to end this episode.
No, let's do it.
Okay. I do. I hear you. I know being prepared is your jam.
That's right.
I know that really
That's my obsession. Winegardner's obsession.
That gets all the slotting and all the levering. I get that.
Yep.
I totally hear you.
Uh-huh.
But isn't there a world where you could also just trust what we do? You could, right?
I would love that. Yeah. I was thinking about that in the car on the way down here, actually. I was thinking, like, how nice would it be just to be able to not... just have it go where it goes.
Just have it go where it goes.
That would be great.
That has always been my proposal, as you know.
Yep.
Let's eschew the planning and the hubbub. but also I also see the value and the utility in the way you do this work, and I appreciate it. But every once in a while, like when work stacks up against a podcast day, you could just be like, man, fuck it.
Right.
Zumbo and I are gonna fucking wing this.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, I will throw it back to like Robin Williams. Okay,
Robin
Williams.
Yes, Barbara Walters
looked like to when you were watching him on like a talk show. Looked like he was just winging it, just zing, just
For
coming
sure.
up with all this crazy stuff.
For sure.
But he would put hours of preparation into that 1 5-minute appearance on a talk show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
you're comparing yourself and the work here to Robin Williams.
well, only in the sense that like I like to have that that knowledge base already kind of just in my subconscious,
Totally.
floating around in there, so I can pull shit
Totally.
out as necessary.
Yeah,
I just like to
absolutely.
be familiar with what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
so I don't sound like a complete ass wipe,
No.
which I normally do.
I mean, no, I don't agree. I don't agree. You're gesticulating wildly, so it's hard for me to focus on the words. So I was a little like, what's going on with your arms? But I get it. I hear you, and I'm happy. I want to keep doing this your way. I just want you to have some relief.
I feel you.
I feel like you can trust us a little more, maybe.
I do trust the and it's just again, I'm not planning out the whole thing.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure.
The last 15 minutes we've done, there was no plan for any of that. It was just I was just
That's
throwing
right.
shit out
and
there.
that's usually the goal.
Yeah, and
that's
it just
what I'm
works.
saying.
I know. Yeah. So I think we're on the same page.
Okay.
I just like to have a little bit of prep time, and then I can relax and enjoy
All right.
the event.
I do want you to relax. That's
Yeah.
what I want.
Okay.
More than anything.
Okay.
We might continue to start episode with a breathing exercise.
Oh,
'cause
God.
That was pretty good.
Oh, God.
That was pretty good. I think we got a pretty good episode out of it.
There go my shoulders back up to my ears.
All right, we're going to do some breathing exercises off microphone.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then we'll catch up with you again next time.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot. Bye.